What'd you eat for lunch?
I had eggs, cheese, beans, sour cream, and what do you call those damn things? Tostada. It was like a tostada is what I had. I just did regular black beans, no avocado, because none of them were fucking ripe.
Mmm. Yeah, out here in the tundra, when we get avocados, they're either about 6 months from being ripe, or you have 3 minutes to eat them before they go rotten. That's about what you got. So it's like one or the other. What do you want? Do you want to plan for a taco night in June, or do you want to eat 4 minutes from now? What do you want? Well, that's a good lunch. I had a Lunchable, as I sometimes do, and I had the. It's the one that has 3 little fake pizzas, which is a weird thing, by the way, to encourage kids to eat cold pizza, which it's like, get ready to be poor in college, I guess. But so it's 3 little pizzas. You make 2 cheese pizzas, then one's a dessert pizza. You know that Lunchable? You know that one?
Oh, yum.
Yeah. So, and it has a Capri Sun. And I had this thought. As we've discussed many times, neither one of us really care about, like, ever meeting people again or dating again, especially me. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Thinking about it makes me tired. However, if I do ever meet somebody, I think one of the big tests we'll come over. Like, it's kind of 2 tests. We'll have a Lunchable. So if she's okay with the Lunchable, okay, test 1 passed, right? Then I'm going to take out the Capri Suns, put the hole in them, and she'll be impressed at how well I can put the hole in them, because that's a hard thing to do, right? So she'll be impressed about that. But so I'll take the Capri Suns and I'll pour them into wine glasses. And if she's still okay with it, then boom, we're good. You know what I mean? Because I just had that idea of, like, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious to open a Capri Sun and pour it into a nice... No, not even a straw. You just pour it into a wine glass and drink it like it's wine.
Oh.
No, these straws are bullshit anyways. I hate Capri Sun straws. And I can't believe they've never fixed that.
My stupid head is like, Timmy pokes the straw into the top of the Capri Sun, then turns it over and tries to pour it into the wine glass with the straw.
No, that's funny. That's a good idea. But I think what I would do is not even poke the straw in, right? I'd take out a scissors and cut the corner off, like really be fucking fancy about it. I'd use one of those scissors that's all silver, right? Like look really nice. I should have it hanging up like on a peg, like this is my special Capri Sun scissors. Right? That'll get me laid, right? By somebody. Listen, if that makes somebody have sex with me, they're probably cool. You know what I mean? Right?
I mean, Capri Suns hit real good.
They do. You're not on video, right? I'm not on video right now.
No, I'm not on video. I do have a Santa hat on, though.
Well, you can just describe it to me, which I guess you already did. Right? I mean, if you say Santa hat, is there anything else you have to say about it? No, that's it, right? It's a Santa hat.
Santa hat.
So, turn your phone off, by the way. So, oh, that was you? Oh, my daughter's standing behind me, lurking. Her phone was on. You still have time to do that? All right, cool. Good luck.
Lurking.
We're talking about Christmas Evil, also called, what's the other name? You Better Watch Out?
You better watch out.
Better not
Better
cry.
not cry. There's going to be a lot of singing in this episode, everyone. Just warn you.
Good. That'll make you cut out more because Discord does that sound topping thing. So just make sure you sing, but in whispers, okay? Dashing through the... Jesus. Dashing through the snow. On a one-horse open sleigh.
Jingle bell.
But so Vinegar Syndrome put this movie out. You're scary. He Vinegar Syndrome put this out on Blu-ray a while back. Christmas Evil, and I have it. It's it's delectable. It's directed by Lewis Jackson, and The reason I brought up the company that put it out, because it doesn't really matter, but there is a special feature on this disc that I think one of my favorite special features of all time. So, Christmas Evil came out in 1980. It was also under the title, You Better Watch Out. And so when they had test screenings, people would fill out comment cards. And Vinegar Syndrome was smart enough to put a slideshow of comment cards. So we're going to read some at some point. Because this movie's pretty, is different. And so the reactions on the comment cards are pretty good. Now, this was your first time watching it, right, Shandy?
Yeah.
And you just watched it again.
Yeah, I watched it last night and I watched it this morning because I was a little tired last night, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Fucking hell, this movie's fucking awesome.
You like it?
You know, I love it.
Yeah, me too. It's different, right? It's a different kind of thing. And, the first time I watched it, this is time numero cinco, I believe. But the first time I watched it, I was expecting like a slasher movie. And so my Letterboxd review was like, I don't know. And Jordan Cooper, the man who wrote the theme song for Earful of Popcorn, and is a huge fan of this movie. And so when I first saw it and wrote this review, like, one of the things I said was like, well, there's just not a lot of kills. And Jordan's like, he commented back and said, I think you might have been in the wrong frame of mind for watching this. He's like, would you say not enough kills about Taxi Driver? And I was like, oh, okay, you're totally right. Then I watched it again. I'm like, okay, this is a fucking masterpiece. You know what I mean? Once I did a lot. Like you watch a movie once to get the expectations or hype out of the way, and then you can really enjoy it. And so now I gave it 4. Then I gave it 4.5. Now I give it 5. You know what I mean? This fucking movie's awesome. And it's a very simple story. It's a guy who's obsessed with Santa and decides to be Santa Claus, and it's his take on being Santa is a little different. Right? Yeah.
Man, I feel so bad for Harry. I love his old-timey Santa Claus outfit.
Yeah, it's good.
With
the fur.
The dark fur. Yeah. And he has a great mustache.
Yeah, that's a cool fake mustache. There's several things in this movie that other Christmas horror movies and other Christmas movies just don't show. One of them is that Harry, the main character, is not fat. And so you see him like planning out the padding, and you see him like wrapping foam around his thigh, like putting a belly thing on, and like you don't always see that. Like, oh yeah, some of these guys have to do that. They're not just like, fatties. There was a point in my life where I could have just put on a Santa suit and done, but now I would also need to do that, I think. But I'm also too short to play Santa, right? Don't you think Santa has to be tall?
Why does Santa have to be tall? Where does that
Because,
come
I
from?
don't know, he's got like a stature, he's like a stately stature to him. You know what I mean? He's got I don't know. I just feel like if a short Santa's just like an elf pretending to be Santa Claus.
Which, there's nothing wrong with that either. But
No, hey, I'm not kink shaming any elves. I would never do that.
you just see like his hat moves and there's like a little elf ear and he like quickly covers it with the hat. He's,
Although, in 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, they call him an elf. And that's one of the foundational things that makes Santa who he is to us, So
is Santa immortal?
Oh, God, you can't be asking me these questions because now what we're going to... Okay, so...
Or just like, because you just said elf.
Mm-hmm. So it depends on the mythology. However, L. Frank Baum, a native Kansan, who wrote a book called Wizard of Oz that starts in a very gray Kansas. And in order to properly be in the right mood to write how boring Kansas is, L. Frank Baum moved to South Dakota. And that's where he wrote The Wizard of Oz. And he wrote that because he wanted to write it. He's like, and it's actually a metaphor for some political stuff from the time, da-da-da. It ended up, kids loved it and would write him like, what else is going to happen? And people would write him all the time. And he was like, So he wrote 6 books. He's like, okay, I'm done with The Wizard of Oz. And they kept coming. So he ended up writing like 16 of those books. And I've read many of them. They're great. Have you ever read any Wizard of Oz books?
No.
Trust me, I'm not as off track as it sounds. Okay, so he wrote other books. One of them, which I have and have read, and it's pretty awesome, is The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. So L. Frank Baum, in like 1901 or 2, something like that, He kind of like did the origin story of Santa Claus, because Santa Claus, as we know him, obviously it's whatever portmanteau or something of Saint Nicholas, right? But the red suit and all that stuff, it really did come from Coca-Cola, and it really did come from that poem in the 1800s, and it's not an old image, and it's not an old mythos, and so L. Frank Baum kind of added a lot to that. So in his version, Santa Claus is a dude many, many, many years ago, and he's out in the woods, and he like kills a wolf or so. I haven't read the book in a long time, but he like kills a wolf or something that's attacking a fairy. And he ended up becoming a friend of these fairy people and different forest nymphs and dryads and different, fantasy creatures that live in the woods. And he becomes their friend. And they like show him which trees are okay to cut down that aren't like, because some of these forest creatures are tied to certain trees. So he's cutting down the right trees. He starts making toys and giving them to children. Well, he starts getting old. And the fairies are like, well, you're awesome, so now you're immortal. So they basically reward this man because he's such a good person. And so, so he just starts making toys, then eventually moves to the North Pole. And, so the elves and different things. In L. Frank Baum's version, Lyman is his first name, by the way. In Lyman's version, not like the Sprite flavor. Anyways, Lyman. So the elves and stuff are kind of just like a general catch-all term for all the different magical creatures that come with Santa and help him. So, yeah. So in that version, he's just a dude. And, but then, like I said, the poem, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, says he's an elf, But also, that's just written from the perspective of some tired dad. So, who knows? He's just, I guess it's a fucking elf. I gotta go back to bed, So, I don't know. But, and we did a couple of Killer Santa Claus movies last year, but The Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first two movies, when you talk about those, it's mostly about like, what the fuck is this? Are these movies? So, and being that the main character here is obsessed with Santa Claus, whereas those guys were not. They were obsessed with the color red and whatever. I think it's a better time to talk about all that stuff. Like, even though it was technically kind of made up by a corporation, Coca-Cola, I like it. And then I don't like Elf on the Shelf. You know anything about that?
So, Elf on the Shelf was never is that a newer thing?
Yes, it's newer, and it's just shoved down your throat by Target, basically.
Yeah. Were you scared of Santa as a kid, or did you like Santa?
Yeah, I was always down. Yeah, me and Kringle, we're tight homies always. No, I was never afraid. But the kids are. And in fact, my niece, who's about 2.5 or so, my brother and his wife, and their son, he's like 5, and then this niece is about 2.5. They went and got their Santa picture yesterday. Which, by the way, is very funny that, where I had a great Christmas setup for taking pictures with Santa was Bass Pro Shop. So it's got a Bass Pro Shop logo. Those giant stores, you've seen them, right? They're huge. Anyways, so my niece is like 2.5. They get Santa out to sit down with the family. She's like, no, I don't want him with me. So the picture is my brother and his family, all adorable, very beautiful. They're all sitting there. And then there's a little cottage next to them. And the cottage has a door that's creaking open and Santa's in there. So it's kind of like one of this movie. It's like a creepy ass Santa. You better watch out. I love that there's different reactions to Santa, though. So what did you think when you were a kid?
I just knew he was going to give me presents.
Right.
The only Santa that kind of scared me was the Santa from The Christmas Story.
The movie about the soap and the gun?
Yeah, when he have you seen that movie?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Well, this kid's obsessed with getting the BB gun or whatever, and he finally makes it up to Santa to sit on his lap and ask him that he wants a BB gun. And he tells the kid the thing he doesn't want to hear, because it's what all the adults in his life have told him of why he's not going to get a BB gun is, you'll shoot your eye out, kid. I wish this would have been the Santa thing when I was growing up, where you had to go up a hill, and then after you got off Santa's lap, you went down a slide. That would be so much fun. But he sticks his boot on his head and goes, ho, 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 ho. And kicks him down the slide with his boot. What the fuck? It scared me.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Well, because it's a very easy thing. It's like clowns, you know, and I was never totally scared of clowns either, but it's one of those things. It's a very friendly, nice thing, and people get scared of it. And I wonder if one of the reasons why clowns and Santa can scare people is because you can't trust them because you don't know why they're happy or being nice. They just are.
They're a stranger.
Yeah, it's a stranger. So why are you so fucking happy and nice to me? You know? Like, don't give me a balloon. Don't give me a present. I don't fucking know you. You know?
Like, your parents tell you, stranger danger, don't talk to strangers. But why is this one okay? Because he's giving me shit?
Yeah, totally. So don't talk to a stranger unless they have treats. Which,
unless it's wrapped.
Right. What the hell? I don't know about you, but I think this is probably the sleaziest movie we've watched, maybe? Do you know what I mean? I think Pieces would be up there.
Pieces is definitely more sleazy than this.
Yeah, and Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 is pretty sleazy, too.
Yeah.
It's just got this, like, grime, this, like, feeling to it that I love. But yeah, it is very much about subverting the Christmas iconography. And it's one of the earlier ones to do. It's 1980, so it's before a lot of that stuff. And so that's probably why one of the reasons when they showed this to people, to test audiences, that they did not, a lot of them had some interesting things to say.
Seems like they had a lot of expectations of what this was. Like you said earlier that you expected this to be a slasher movie.
Right.
And we're like, what the fuck is it?
Right, yeah. And I think that's maybe what happened. And in fact, some of these comment cards pretty much say what you just said. So let's read a couple right now, and then we'll get into the movie maybe. These cards say preview card, there's an age and a sex, and then it says, how would you rate this movie? Excellent, good, fair, or poor. And then you can write whatever you want on the bottom. So this is a 42-year-old male, rated it poor, and just said, of no value. These are all good, by the way. You want to read your first one? Let's read a couple. You got them?
Hold on, I'm going to grab my phone. These are great. I kind of wish they still did this.
I know, right? They do, but I don't think it's cards. So what's your first one?
Okay, so age 31, sex male. When asked how would you rate this movie, it's a question mark. It's under fair. Beats Bing Crosby.
I don't even know what that means.
Does he sing a lot of Christmas songs?
Well, Bing's a huge Christmas icon, for sure.
Yeah, I guess because like his Christmas specials maybe is what they're referring to.
White Christmas, Holiday Inn.
Mele-kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day.
No, so good.
Here's one, a 25-year-old female. She rated it poor, but then also wrote her own option, dumb, and checked that off too. It says, the movie sucked. I wasted a good 2 hours of my time. These are fantastic.
Her own dumb.
I love it. Man. Do one more. You want to do one more? We got a bunch. We'll keep going throughout the day.
Okay, I'll just read the next one. Age 23, sex male, checkmarked fair. Other comment was, what was this supposed to prove? In all caps.
Yeah. Oh my God. What? It's so funny. But yeah, you're right. So it's like the expectations were very all over the place. And there are people in these comment cards that enjoyed it too. We'll get to some of those, but a couple. But most people were like, what the fuck? You know, I mentioned earlier that Jordan compared this in some ways to Taxi Driver. I would think that's the best movie to compare it to.
Yeah.
Don't you think like the most similar?
Yeah. With his like slowly unraveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and not a ton of violence, but the violence that is there is kind of explodes into it naturally, you know? Yeah. So, okay, in the beginning, it says, Christmas Eve, like 1948 or something, right? Mm-hmm. So it's when the guy was young. And so there's Harry, and there's his brother Phil and their kids. They're with their mom on the stairs, looking at the chimney on Christmas Eve. And then here comes some boots down and everything. And so my first question is, did their dad really come down the chimney? I think he did. Right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty skinny, so I guess he could fit.
I suppose. I'd be terrified. I don't know if I'm claustrophobic, but I just don't, I'm very, very anxious, have bad anxiety, clinical, whatever. Like if it was me, they'd be like, what's that noise? He's like, ah! Just hear me in the chimney being terrified. So then he comes out of the chimney, and the whole process that happens next, I find very strange.
Yeah, I did too.
Did you leave out milk and cookies for Santa when you were a kid?
Okay, we left out milk.
Mm-hmm.
We made cookies. Like I helped my mom make
Sure.
the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also left out a list of presents that we wanted.
That's fun.
And we
That's
left
cool.
that with it. And, like we also made him a Christmas card too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What'd you guys do?
Yeah, we did a similar thing. Milk and cookies. The cookies were ones that we made. Leave out milk and cookies. We sometimes write a letter. Leave out an apple or a carrot for the reindeer. That kind of stuff.
Oh, we forgot the reindeer.
Oh, they're so bad at you. They're still so bad at you. And one year, my daughter wrote him a letter,
Oh.
and I wrote back. And so I developed a Santa font that I would write in. And I would always kind of be like, oh, God, now I got to do it. I started this precedent. Now I got to do it every year because the Santa font is hard to write in because it's a lot of swirls. I made it look very swirly and magical. But obviously, it did the job. She was like, this is amazing. Okay, so the things you and I both described, I would say 99% of the kids who would leave something up for Santa, it's that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not this. What is this? What? Okay. I mean, I guess it's nice to let
Sure.
him rinse his hands and shine his boots, but bread?
Paint a picture of what he comes up to, though. Even the way it looks and is set is strange to me.
Yeah, it's like a hotel buffet cart thing.
Yeah,
It's
what? It's like a room service silver on the platters and the pitcher.
Get out the good china. Santa's coming.
What the fuck? It's crazy. And yes, there's a bar of soap on a plate and a little thing of water. And yeah, he washes his hands. And I guess he just came down a chimney and he's about to eat food. So, okay. All right.
And the bread,
Yeah, so there's bread. There's not cookies, there's bread. And you do see him spread something. Maybe it's just butter. I don't know. Maybe he's got some jelly. It's bread and a glass of milk. That's so fucking strange.
It was really, I mean, I was like, okay, this family seems like they're pretty well off. So, they don't have cookies or fudge.
Yeah, fudge would be acceptable. Brownies, baked goods, treats.
Something.
Yeah, not prison food. That's what it's bread and water. You fucking like your food, Santa.
Man, if I was Santa, I'd be leaving a big old lump of coal fucking bread. I'd be throwing it in the fire.
Coal would be a nice choice compared to what I would say, but well, hey, I was gonna shit on your floor, but the shitty food you gave me won't even produce enough poop. But it's like, Santa, you finish your bread and water, you get the hose. What is this?
That would make sense why this kid becomes traumatized if he saw Santa shitting on his fucking floor.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's not what he sees. But here's the deal, too. Okay, so this family's already weird. It's like, yes, the child Harry ends up going crazy, but things are already strange in this family, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't like Mom's face. It's really weird. What is that expression?
I think she's horny.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I was just
What do we see next?
Well, yeah. And that it's fucking hot as shit.
It is pretty hot. She's got some good stockings.
I like her shoes with the little fur. The little slippers with the fur.
She's like a sexy mom.
Yeah, she looks like a pinup.
She's good to go right away.
Yeah, and I wonder if the person that wrote this based on that song. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Yes, and you know what? I wrote almost the exact same comment about a different song. Buck Owens, one of my favorite Christmas songs I only discovered in the last few years. Santa looked a lot like Daddy, or Daddy looked a lot like him. He did. Although in that song he goes, he didn't come down the chimney, so Mama must have let him in.
I don't know that song. That's
Oh,
awesome.
dude, it's so good. It's like it's a goofy old country song. Santa looked a lot like Daddy, or Daddy looked a lot like him. He wasn't quite how I pictured. Santa looked way too thin. He didn't come down the chimney, so Mama must have let him in. And then later he goes, Mama started kissing him, so if Santa Claus isn't Daddy, I'm gonna tell on him. So, but yes, I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. I didn't even think about that one. That's a way more famous song, of course. And yeah, it's right there. John Cougar Mellencamp has a cover of I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. And he's always a little confused. You know, he doesn't know how to eat a chili dog. We already knew that about him. And sucking on chili dog. What? No. And the way, I don't know if it's just the way he has kind of an accent or the way his voice is or whatever, but when he's, I saw Mommy kiss on Santa Claus, it's like, kiss on? Okay, I guess I guess that is kissing on, but that sounds fucking weird. Anyways.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so Santa leaves presents, eats his fucking weird treats. You can't even call it treat, it's bread. He eats the bread. There's treat bread. There's some gals I know that I order their bread sometimes here. They make this cinnamon swirl raisin bread. That's delicious. If you left Santa a slice of that, it makes sense. This is just fucking bread. Anyways. Then he leaves some presents, and then the kids go upstairs. And then child Harry, we assume it's Harry, his brother Phil says something shitty. What does he say? I don't quite remember.
He's like, yeah, that's Dad. That's not Santa. And Harry is fucking pissed. Because he's like, that's not fucking Dad, you asshole.
That's Santa Claus, dude.
Duh.
Yeah, so then he gets up. He's like, I'm going to go see him again.
Oh, boy.
So he goes down, and Santa's still there. And
Santa's having a different kind of treat.
yeah, she's got like, well, it looks like he was about to eat her out, right? Isn't he on his knees? And she's like lifting her skirt up or something.
And the second time watching this, I was listening a little bit more closely, and it does sound like Dad's going,
oh,
like he's,
you
know.
Yeah, licking clit. We can say that, right?
We can say whatever we want.
Now listen, there's people out there that don't think you I'd never do that. It's like, I fucking love doing that. At least the last time I checked. And so I get it. I get why Santa would be like, ooh. You know what'll go well with this bread? Licking some bucks. But so he sees that, and it obviously freaks him out.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to ask you. So is he upset because he's like, oh shit, that isn't Santa, that's Dad? Or is he upset because he's like, what the fuck, Santa?
I think it's more what the fuck, Santa, because I think his first thought is, that might not be Dad. So I don't know. I think it's a little of both. I think it's definitely, I'd say him not being sure if it's Santa or Dad, it probably fucked with him. But I think certainly Santa isn't supposed to be like that was a thought. Because this whole movie is about what he thinks Christmas is supposed to be. And what he thinks Santa Claus is supposed to be. Right?
Yeah, and this is very naughty what is happening. Why is Santa being naughty?
Exactly. And so then he goes up and breaks a snow globe and cuts himself with it.
Dude.
Yeah. So, there's some interesting things to get at here. One thing, if horror movies are to be believed, the number one most horrible thing a child could ever see is Santa getting pussy. Because how often does this happen in movies? I mean, okay, so it happens in this one. I believe it happens in the beginning of another one we almost watched for this year, Don't Open Till Christmas. I believe that's in there somewhere. There's a few, right? I mean, it happens in Silent Night, Deadly Night, doesn't it?
Well, it's always like a child seeing an illicit act happening and like being traumatized by it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's like, the number one horrible thing is if you see Santa getting laid. And then, and it makes you get weird, I guess. So there's so many Christmas horror movies, and I've seen a lot of them because I love this shit. It's one of my favorite sub-genres or whatever you want to say. Just because I like the subversion of this wonderful innocent, fun thing being like, fucking gonna kill you. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely in more than a few. And I think that goes right with making Santa evil. Making Santa sexual is also kind of perverts our image of him. You know what I mean? Because he's not sexual. He's not supposed to be, not in our minds, right?
Mm-mm.
He's just supposed to be this fun, jolly guy. But it's like, hey, man, Santa's got to get his jollies too. You know what I mean?
He's an adult, isn't he? So, like...
Yeah, he's got a dick. I mean, he's got Mrs. Claus in many situations, although they don't have any children.
I was going to say that. Yeah, there's no kids.
And here's another fun thing about Mrs. Claus. And I have a friend, Sam, here, a different Sam. We had a discussion like this once. It's a good point. What is Mrs. Claus's first name?
Oh my God, what is her? Does she have a name?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not in most versions,
Because he's Kris Kringle.
Sure. Or Nicholas. Hello. It's right there. But she doesn't have a name.
No, it's just Miss Claus or Mrs. Claus.
Fucking patriarchy.
Bullshit. I also had this thought too. I was like, if I was a kid and I was like, Mom's banging Santa? Hell fucking yeah. We're going to have good presents this year.
Yeah, next Christmas is going to be sick.
Like,
does this mean every other year we're going to eat Christmas dinner at the North Pole?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we're going to talk about like mental health stuff throughout this. So it's like, it's all about how you think about things. You got to change your way you're thinking.
But you can't sometimes.
That's true.
And that's tough. It's like, it's like, have you tried not being anxious? Yeah, it doesn't work. That's why I'm on pills, fuckface, So sometimes you can't not be obsessed with Santa in the wrong way. So he sees this and then he goes and cuts himself. And then it cuts to him as an adult. And, man, the first thing we see is like a bunch of Christmas shit, right? In his apartment. And he also has a little blackboard that says Days Till Christmas. And I think the first time we see it, it says 55 days till Christmas, which makes it November 5th. And so that to me is too early to have all your Christmas shit up already. So he must have this up year round.
Yeah, this is just his house.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he wake up in like Santa pajamas?
Yes, he's wearing like basically, I guess you could say it's pajamas, but it's kind of just a fucking Santa suit that he sleeps in. Well, and it's just everything. He's putting on Christmas music. He goes to the bathroom, and when he shaves, he, of course, puts white shaving cream all over his face to make it look like he has Santa's beard. But he's obsessed with all this stuff, but, like, every time it lingers on him, occasionally the camera will linger on him, and he'll be happy about whatever Christmas thing, but then it'll eventually always fade, and he'll start looking angry or sad, right?
Yeah, every shot of him in a mirror was fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah, for sure. You start with that beginning, that flashback, the kid sees his sex and then cuts himself. Okay, clearly this person's going to have issues. But they make it very clear just through the beginning without even really saying it. No one even hardly speaks. You just kind of see, okay, he's got Christmas shit everywhere. He is dressed as Santa. He's putting on a Santa shaving cream beard. And I think part of it that's disturbing is like, okay, why is this guy obsessed with Santa, though? You'd think he would hate Santa.
You would think that, or maybe it just like caused the opposite. It just like caused his brain to like, a way of coping with it was to like embrace it.
Right. And that might be part of it. And so, and there's a few other things too. Like we just said, he thinks that when he saw Santa, he was disappointed that Santa would do that because Santa's being bad, right? So I think part of his idea is he wants to give the world a better Santa than the one he saw, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Or he wants to fuck his mom. So, which, hey, not into that, incest. However, his mom's hot. So, wow. When we see her making out, she's got, like I said, like sexy garters or something on, right? Some kind of nice negligee. Or as a Midwestern would probably say neglige. So, then what we see him do next is he's got these big-ass books. These are large books.
Yeah, those are what I would think Santa would have, right? Because it's for the whole year, You gotta
sure,
have
yeah, of course.
Space.
What I'm saying is, where'd he buy them? Where'd he get the books?
I don't know, because maybe he had them like made because the front actually says like good boys and girls, bad boys and girls. So it's
You're
like,
right.
or maybe he made them, because I mean, he makes a whole Santa fucking costume and
well,
sews
and he
it
makes
and
toys.
shit.
He
Yeah,
makes toys
he
later
made
on
it.
too. Yeah,
He
you're
made
right. He
it.
totally made it. Yeah.
Mm.
And we also see that he's been doing this for a while. What we were about to see him do has been happening for a while because it's he's got a couple years worth. So then he takes out his binoculars, he goes over to the roof, and he starts like spying on kids across the street.
Okay, I didn't like that when he goes, "Where are my darlings?"
Yeah.
went,
I don't think you were supposed to like it, so it's okay. If you said, like, I loved how he calls them darlings, I'd be like, okay, Shandy, that's cool.
No,
911.
Because I went, oh no, don't have it go like this route. Like, don't have what affected him as a child make him be fucking creepy
Right.
to, like, about children. But that's not what happens, thankfully.
It doesn't. They do.
gosh.
I mean, it teeters a few times. Because there's this girl, what's the girl's name? The little girl, Susie? I can't remember. He's
I think
he's
it's
like
Susie.
definitely obsessed with her, and like he's got her picture and stuff, but it never gets explicit about it being a sexual thing, but it doesn't say it's not either. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, yeah. One thing I wrote down at this point was there are real dudes like this, you know, and not just the mall Santas. There's a documentary called "I Am Santa Claus" I watched last year about RBS, real bearded Santas. And most of them are obviously great guys. And the ones they all follow are nice men. Because they want to be Santa Claus. They want to entertain children and make children happy. And one of them, my favorite one, lives in Texas. And he looks exactly like Santa. And he's gay. And so what he also does is like take like sexy Santa bear pictures and make calendars. Of him like shirtless, just wearing boots and a little like thong in a tub out in the countryside or whatever with a Santa hat on, right? And he's got a great accent. And when he talks about it, he starts tearing up. He's like, I'll just be holding this little baby. I'll be looking in its eyes. And I just know I'll be part of his memories forever. You know, and it's like it's cutest. It's adorable. It's amazing, right? And I think most Santas are like that, you know? I think they're good guys. But you know there's weirdos like Harry out there that maybe aren't becoming Santa in malls because hopefully the manager of whatever mall will be like, yeah, you're a fucking creep. You can't have this job. But there's people you know that have apartments like this, right? And are doing weird shit like this. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super hyper fixated on children. Super hyper fixated on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he has two personalities.
Yeah? You think he has two personalities?
Yeah, and I didn't really catch it the first time that I saw it, but when there's like the holiday party and he's looking in the mirror and he's Santa and he does the little like puts his finger on his nose and does the little wink, but then he takes his hand over his face. It's like he has to change to the work personality for the party.
Right.
Like he can't be jolly old Saint Nick for the party because, you know, everybody's going to think he's fucking weird.
Yeah, so he's Harry and he's Santa.
Yeah, he's Harry. Yeah, he's got two personalities.
Well, it makes a lot of sense when you say that because you think about some other scenes where he's like mad at himself driving in the car. Like, you know what I mean? Like this guy has fucking problems. He's clearly, I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I would love to see what a mental health professional thinks about this movie, though. And I would love to see someone actually analyze this character.
Yeah, because like all the neighborhood kids fucking love him.
Yeah, well, and why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's always talking about Christmas. He's always asking them what they like and talking to them. There's at one point, he's like walking home from work or whatever. And the kids are like, what would you be if you could be anything? And he's kind of all up in his head because he's mad about something else, I forget. But so he goes, I'd be super magic. Like, it sounds like he's just throwing that off like, just I don't know, super magic. Quit talking to me. You know?
I'm on a mission.
But yeah, but they love him, and he's looking at these kids and they're like spying on them through binoculars and writing down like, oh, this boy's good, this girl's good, and the naughty kid. I love everything about Moss Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing when he first sees him?
He's reading a penthouse and he's
Fuck yeah,
taking
he
out
is.
the middle.
Yes,
the
he's
middle
cutting out the
bit.
centerfold thing. Yeah. And he's just like, oh. And so he's writing down, he takes a good book out because he sees a boy taking out the garbage. So he's like helping it. He writes down for that boy helping his mom. He writes down for the girl that she's sweet or whatever. I think he just writes down that she's such a darling. Something like that. It's like, And then he takes out the bad book and he goes to Moss Garcia and he already has a lot of notes on Moss Garcia. And he writes, impure thoughts and negative body hygiene. And I'm not sure what that means. What is it? Is that negative? I thought maybe it meant negative body image, like he's getting an unrealistic image about what women should look like because he's reading Penthouse, But hygiene was the word that threw me off, though.
Maybe he doesn't brush his hair or knows that he doesn't brush his teeth or that he doesn't wash his hands after he eats. Because he's spying on these kids all the fucking time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's probably something like that. It's so fucking weird.
He's like, this kid's fucking gross.
Yeah. And, he's looking at Penthouse. So then Harry, as he's done spying on kids, writing notes on them, then he goes to work. But, quick, one thought I just had. Here's the other thing is you think about all the songs about Santa and everything you know about Santa Claus. Santa spies on kids.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So it's almost like, hey, man, if someone was really doing this, that's fucked up.
He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
He knows when you are fast asleep.
It's like God. Whatever. He's God.
Yeah. But I think when you apply that to a real person, like in this situation, that's like. Aren't
there a lot of depictions of God with the white beard and the white hair?
Yeah, very Santa Clausy, and I think I think that was first, and I think that's why Santa Claus is often depicted that way because he's got a godliness to him, and he's a saint, So I don't know what the actual Saint Nicholas did, but saints are canonized. That's what you say when they become a saint, and it's often because they're often martyrs, which means they allow themselves to be murdered for their cause. And so I'm not sure what happened to Saint Nicholas, but there's lots of saints. Yeah, I went to Catholic school, so there's a lot of saints. In fact, one year, Halloween's on the 31st. All Saints Day is November 1st. Or right around then. And, a lot of people now celebrate that as Dia de los Muertos, but also it's All Saints Day. And so one year we got to be Halloween costumes or whatever at school. The next day we're dressed up as saints and we do a presentation at the church. And I was Saint Francis of Assisi, who was, he was like a patron saint of animals. He was nice to animals. You see statues of him in Catholic people's gardens, and he's a bald guy in a monk outfit, and he's like Snow White. He's got birds and deer all around him all the time. So that's a good saint, right? Good guy. He's a good dude. And in fact, when you get confirmed when you're 16, you actually pick another name. And so in the eyes of the Catholic Church, I have a second middle name, which is Francis, because that's the saint I liked. So.
Francis.
Two of my brothers chose Ignatius, not because they liked the saint. They just thought it was funny to say Ignatius. But, I mean, I can't knock him because it's a dumb thing. So, whatever. So then here he goes to work. And if I was telling you about this and you had to guess where he worked, you'd probably say toy factory. Right?
I went, of course he works in a factory. Of course.
Yeah, because as far as we know, he's positioned his whole life to be about being Santa Claus.
Being Santa Claus, making toys for the children. I love that he's so adamant about how shitty the toys are now.
Yeah. And you know what? That soldier we see them making, it's a plastic soldier, one color, it's either red or blue. It's got a little yellow lightning thing instead of a gun on its shoulder. And they don't look fun. They also look dangerous. That's very pointy. And, a different toy soldier gets used later on with pointy things. But I said those soldier toys look dangerous, but at least they don't look fun. So kids won't play with them. And he's talking to his coworkers, and he's recently been promoted to a desk job, and he doesn't like it. He says he misses being on the line. And he feels like they don't, and he's kind of explaining to his friends, not friends, but coworkers, that, that they don't care about making the toys. They're not making good toys,
Yeah, and you guys should care. Why don't you guys care?
Yeah. Well, and you should. But have you ever had a factory job?
I worked in a factory with my mom and my older sister for a whole
Oh.
summer after high school. We worked in a computer factory.
What'd you make?
My mom made computer parts for all sorts of things, like the little chips like that go like on motherboards.
Yep.
So my mom made those. She was like the start of the line. And then by the time it got to me and my sister, we inspected the little prongs on all the computer chips. So I had a magnifying glass, a big one, and I had to inspect them by hand.
Yep.
Every single little prong. And on some of them, they're really, really long and thin, and there's 60 prongs on each piece. And we would get orders of like 1,000 pieces. But I also had to put the little gold bit in the middle of the chip, this little like gold metal thing, I had to put on by hand, and it had to be right in the middle of every single piece, and it had to be perfect. And sometimes it would take me hours to do an order, but my hands were like always cut up and like calloused and shit. I fucking loved that job.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I worked in the same kind of factory and did that.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Well, right, but I didn't know you did that either, and we both did the same fucking factory work. That's crazy. I might have been in a different part of the line than you, but yes, we were manufacturing modem components, and I was inspecting them, but also putting them in the shipping. The way they ship those is it looks like a film reel. It's like a black long tape, and there's like little boxes where you would have the film frames, right? And so it looks like a film reel, and you wrap them up on a reel, and that's how they would ship them. And so me and my friend Amber, that's what we were doing. It was like 19 or 20 and worked there for a summer. Yeah. Very strange that we worked in the same kind of factory. I also worked in a tractor factory for a little bit, but I was on the paint department. So this company manufactures cabs for tractors. You know what a tractor cab is, right? It's where you sit. So they would make them for different kinds of machines. And so I was on the paint crew. So I'd paint prep, which means I would like sand them and stuff. And that job was gross. You'd get covered in weird primer and stuff. Like paint dust that's like toxic. You'd have to like shower and stuff. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But there were some cabs that was like they'd make cabs for like stuff where there's only 2 or 3 of this certain kind of machine in the world because they're huge and they're in mining pits or whatever. And so there's a cab once that I worked on that was the size of like an apartment. It was crazy. Yeah. Watertown's actually a pretty big hub for manufacturing. A lot of manufacturing jobs here. But and people make some good money doing that stuff. But this is definitely, I've never been in one where the morale was good. And you saying I like that job is the first time I've ever heard anybody say they like a manufacturing job. So congratulations.
It's because I sat at a table with my sister to my left and like 2 older women in front of us, and one of the women, never forget her, like Barb.
Gotta be Barb.
Barb would not shut the fuck up the entire shift. Like, she had to talk shit and gossip about everybody that fucking worked there. I could not stand her. But thankfully, I was able to put on my headphones. The minute I sat down at my desk, I put my headphones on, I put my head down, I drank my Coca-Colas throughout my shift, and like just zoned her the fuck out because she
so you got to do all that.
Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I like that job, because it was like,
yeah, sure.
I had to get up at like 5 a.m. We'd be there like 5:30 at 6, and then I would get off work at like 1 or 2. So then I'd have like my whole day to do whatever the hell I wanted. And like outside of high school, it was like, this is great.
Sure. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah. So, but what we see here in this movie, that's what I've seen as generally the mentality. Like, no one really wants to be there except Harry. So I'm not saying you're as crazy as Harry. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I don't, I haven't been to your new apartment. I don't know what kind of seasonal decorations you have. But anyways, what if you were like Harry just for Halloween and he was, what kind of treats do you want me to hand out, kids? But yeah, so he's obsessed with this job, and there's this fucking guy there who is like, you got to cover for me, Harry, because I'm going to go out of town. And he eventually lets this guy talk him into it, and then what does he see? Of course, he's walking home after working this guy's shifts for him, and the guy didn't fucking leave town. He's at a bar telling his friends, yeah, I'm not leaving till the morning, but I talked that fucker Harry into taking my shift.
fucking douchebag. I would have walked my
Total
ass in there and
douchebag.
been like, what the fuck are you doing? I just
Yeah.
booked your goddamn shift for you, asshole. Also,
Right.
all y'all, if he ever asks you to cover a shift, don't fucking cover it for him anymore. Because look at him.
Right.
Piece
Right.
of shit.
Well, Harry chooses a solution that makes it definite that the guy would never ask him for anything. Yeah, but what's great about this movie is, and the kills don't happen till over halfway through the film, but like it's never not entertaining, and it's always interesting because he's just slowly cracking. You just see more and more of the different things, right? And another great element to this is his brother Phil, because his brother was in the beginning as a kid too, and saying, "I think Santa Claus is just daddy" or whatever, and he's like, "You don't know, you don't know." So we see his brother, who's living a successful, basically normal life, and he's also porking his hot wife, just like his dad would to his hot wife. Anyways, and she's telling him, like, lighten up on your brother.
Yeah, don't be so hard on him. Like, he's better than you think he is, kind of like is what she's saying.
Right, but she also goes a little far with it, too, because she says something like, I think he's just being weird to get your attention or something. And to me, it sounded like, have you tried not being anxious? It's like, yo, you need to accept that this guy has issues. And so she's right in that he should be easier on him. But he's right to be concerned about his brother having issues.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
You know? And by the end, I would say he ends up being more right than his wife. And that conversation's on Thanksgiving, because he's supposed to come over for Thanksgiving and he doesn't. And then he has a very weird phone call to his brother. He's like, I've got stuff to do. I'm not going to come. And he's watching the Macy's Day Parade.
Dude, I swear this is like a coping mechanism for him, because when like stuff in the real world, he gets smited by it or gets upset by something, he doesn't know how to deal with it. So like when the guy pulls one over on him for doing his shift and fucking lying, he like freaks the fuck out. Like he goes home, like him sitting with the toy in between his hands, and what is that song that he's singing? But he like starts singing it like normal, and then the more upset and angry he gets, he like starts freaking out singing the song. Like he gets madder and madder and madder until like I think he like breaks the toy in his hand. So it's like he goes and like sings the song to like calm himself down.
Yeah.
Instead of like actually dealing with the dude and like telling him how he feels about everything. And then also to cope, he goes to his childhood home to like spy on. It's just crazy.
That's
like,
it. Well, hold on. His brother lives in their childhood home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that he was just spying on somebody. Well, like, was his brother? Yeah. Which is
no,
even worse than spying on strangers, maybe, right?
I think so, because it's like
It's weirder.
Yeah, and his kids really, really like love him too. They love Uncle
kids
Harry.
like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, it is creepier because you could go in, and you don't.
Yeah.
That makes it very weird. So, and he's always about 4 seconds away from rage, and so I think you and him, I'm not trying to say you and him are similar again, but I think what you're on a good point here, and I think he agrees with you, is that Santa's a coping mechanism. But I think the truth is that it's not, because whenever he starts to do Santa shit, then he fucking cracks not long afterwards. So I think he's so upset. There's so much. His mental problems are a fucking onion, right? There's a lot of layers there.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's a layer which is the coping mechanism. But we just keep seeing him do weirder and weirder shit. So right around this time, there's a scene where we see him painting his van, and he paints a sleigh on his van with like a Santa sleigh on his van and stuff.
Man, do you look at the toys in his garage in the background? Did you look at them?
Well, they do that on purpose. I mean, they definitely make you look at these toys because a lot of them are fucking creepy.
Holy shit.
And I think old school toys there's a lot of old school toys that are creepy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
There's a whole creepy aspect to Santa and Christmas and stuff that it has been lost a little bit. And in fact, later on, after he's murdered a few people and the cops are investigating him, one of them mentions that he's like bringing back the scary side of Santa Claus, and that maybe we should be glad he's doing it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, don't be bad, or Santa's gonna get you.
Right. And you know, there's Krampus, right? And there's also Pitch, who is the name of a demon in some Santa stories. And then in the Netherlands, St. Nicholas is accompanied by Black Pete, who's a guy with soot on his face. And so on St. Nicholas Day in the Netherlands, some people dress up as St. Nicholas, but some people would dress up like Black Pete. Well, what color are most people that live in the Netherlands? White. And so when they rub black stuff all over their face, what do you think that looks like?
Is that why he does this in that scene?
I think so. And so,
okay.
and so that's all part of it. So, there's something else I want to bring up before we get to that scene, because there's one awesome thing that happens right before that. But the reason I brought it up is because so there's Santa has a creepy aspect to him, but there's often another evil thing like Krampus or Pitch or whatever. So and so that's all this old school Christmas stuff. And so I think those weird ass toys are kind of part of that coming back, you know, whether he knows he's bringing it back or not. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
And when he's painting, he's like I think he's not even saying it out loud. I think it's his inner monologue that we're hearing. And he's listing off what these kids want for Christmas. Now, do you think he really knows what those kids want? Or is he just making that shit up?
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Sure.
Because if he's been making these books, anytime he's not at work, he's doing one of two things. He's like fucking around with Christmas shit in his apartment, or he's just spying on all the neighborhood kids.
Yeah. And you know what? He also talks to them, though. So that might be why he knows, too. Because I think it's a scene right after this. He's walking down the street, and that's when, like, what could you be if you could do anything? And that's when he goes, I'd be super magic. What would you do? And all the kids give these different answers, like, I'd be a fireman and stuff. And what does Mas Garcia say?
I want a year subscription to Penthouse. Oh, he did not like that.
Oh, my God. His reaction to him saying that is, it might be the best thing in this movie. I fucking love that. Like, he's horrified that this kid said that.
I gotta go get to my books. I gotta write this down.
Yeah, and he's like,
unacceptable behavior.
Yeah, and that's when he, like, I think shortly after that, he goes to Moss's house and hides in the bushes and rubs mud on his face. So is he doing like these old school characters like Black Pete, or is it like he's camouflaging himself? Maybe a little bit of both.
I didn't know about that Pete character. So in my head, I'm thinking that he's just marking the naughty kids' houses.
Yeah.
But that makes so much more sense knowing that.
Well, and I think that might be why he puts his handprint and faceprint on the wall too, because that's like what Black Pete or these kind of characters would do, right? They're looking at because they're Black Pizza in the chimney or whatever. He's covered in. I almost said pizza chimney. That sounds delicious. But Black Pete comes out of the chimney. That's why he's like a chimney sweep. He's always covered in soot. But unfortunately, in the Netherlands, when they're dressing up like Saint Nick, as the people dress up like Black Pete, well, most of those people are white. So when they put on soot on their face, it looks like they're doing blackface. So they stopped doing that.
Yeah, no good.
So that might be why he's doing that. But yeah, he's spying on him. And it's so funny. Like, there's some interesting things here. We know that Harry hates the toys that his company makes. And Mas Garcia is playing with all those toys. Well, so Harry fucking hates this kid. He thinks he's bad and impure thoughts and bad hygiene, whatever. And then he sees him playing with the toys Harry doesn't like. And, so he just doesn't like him. And, but, then the kid's going out somewhere with his mom. He's like, there's someone in the bushes. And he tries to fucking grab him.
Dude.
What was the plan there? Do you think he had a plan, or is it just him not controlling himself again?
Well, we get a glimpse of why this kid is the way he fucking is, because his mom's a fucking asshole. I can't believe she smacked him.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was common. We've talked about that. We talked about it on our last Christmas episode.
I was like, no wonder this kid is acting out and being fucking naughty. I knew you were going to ruin my one night out. Fuck out of here, Mom.
Yeah, and why are you bringing him on your one night out? Does every kid in this movie have to watch their mom have sex? Is that what's happening?
I mean,
that's just the world of the movie.
So, like, my mom smacked me one time, and I was a teenager, and I fucking deserved it because I called her a bitch.
Yeah.
But
this is a child.
Dude, come on.
Yeah. For sure.
I don't know if he was trying to scare him, Because I also thought too, I was like, shit, is he gonna grab him? But I was like, I don't think he would do that with his mom right there.
Right.
But it was scary.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and this movie is scary in a different way. It's not a bunch of jump scares and stuff. It's just so creepy to watch this guy. And I think this might be a good time to talk about the actor. So the guy who's playing Harry is named Brandon Maggart. And what did you think about the job he does in this movie?
He's fucking fantastic, and I heard he didn't really play any big major roles like this after this, which I think is a fucking shame.
Well, he was busy doing something else. He went and got married, had 5 kids. This Brandon Maggart, before he did this movie. And by the way, he maybe not still because he's 90 years old, but he was still doing stuff. He'd do theater, he did some poetry and stuff. So he had 5 kids in a marriage, got divorced, got together with his lady, Diane McAfee, I guess, and they had 2 kids, Amber and Fiona, and Amber is a cabaret singer who performs as Maud Maggart. Fiona is a musician, but uses her middle name as her last name, and is Fiona Apple, and I thought that was fucking insane.
That's insane, also because my calico cat is named Fiona, and her child that I used to take care of on the street was named Apple.
Right, but you named that cat after the Shrek character, right?
No. I named her after the singer.
I know
Fiona
you
Apple.
did. I was being silly because, of course, you don't like Shrek. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so...
I do like Shrek. When did I say that?
Well, I'm just saying, because Shrek was made after, 1987, so you might not like it. I don't know. But anyways, you like 3 or 4 things that were made later on, but it's okay.
Shrek hating Shandi.
Shrek hating Shandy. Anyways, well, no, but it's like a kid's thing, and it was out when you and I were getting blitzed all the time. So I don't know if you ever saw the Shrek movies. You know,
that's true. I don't think I've seen past the first one though. Also, yeah.
The first one is good. I've seen most of them. I think I don't know, but anyways, they're funny. They're well done. And yes, so Cameron Diaz's character, the princess named Fiona. But no, yeah, Fiona Apple's his kid. And I love Fiona Apple, and she's interesting, and she does look like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I never put it together. There's some interesting stuff here with the different actors too. The guy that plays his brother Phil is Jeffrey DeMunn, who is a buddy of Frank Darabont's. And so he's in a lot of Frank Darabont's films, Shawshank and stuff like that, The Mist. But most people probably know him from The Walking Dead. It was Dale, right? Dale. Okay, so that's how many people know him. And there's two other actors I want to talk about, but they haven't shown up yet, so we'll talk about it in a little bit. But this whole thing going to the kid's house is like, whoa, because now we're starting to see him cross a line, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it kind of already was. He's been creepy the whole time, but this is like, now you're not spying on these kids. You're at their fucking house. So
I thought at one moment he was going to go inside, but then that didn't happen.
Yeah, not yet. Then he's at the company Christmas party.
I love the shot of them just pouring so much booze into all of the cups. They're not just, here's a little bit of booze, here's a cup. They just start chugging it. Man, these people can party.
Well, you and I have been to work Christmas parties at pianos, but have you ever been to an office Christmas party?
Not like that. It seemed fun.
Okay, they're all like that. People get fucking hammered. People get destroyed at those things. Mine had one the other day, but we were during the day. We went bowling, and we were all done with the party by 6 or 7. But there's still people getting tanked. You know what I mean? That is what it is. Oh yeah, dude. Wow. People in office jobs are just a second. Harry is a realistic character because there's one of those guys, and not at my job. My job's a small group of people. It's not really an office job, but office jobs like that in factories, there's a 12 Harrys at every big factory. You know what I mean? There's people there who just need the right fucking reason to suddenly turn into a monster. And they're getting loaded to forget that about themselves, is what I think. But anyways, no, they are like that. So just so you know. The cat job doesn't have Christmas parties?
No, I barely ever see my bosses or anybody else that I work with.
That's not bad either, I suppose. But
I mean, if I knew the fucking factory was about to lay off people, I'd be getting fucking tanked too. Shit.
Well, that's what it is. That's what I'm saying is because they're not happy.
Yeah.
And so they get loaded.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. They're talking about giving a bunch of toys, the company's toys, to these kids at a children's hospital or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like a video of presumably the CEO of the company somewhere in like Florida or somewhere tropical talking about how they're going to give a bunch of their toys to these kids. And everybody's kind of like, oh, how many you were give? I don't know. And they're all kind of just talking about helping these kids as just like good publicity, basically, is kind of what I got out of it, right?
Dude, this company blows because, like, in the beginning, when he's talking to some of the factory workers about the shitty toys, one of the workers goes, oh, did you hear about the layoffs? Oh, no, because you don't go to union meetings anymore, Harry. So it's like, this company's probably going to lay off a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Shocked they didn't do it around the holidays. They have this holiday party where the CEO is basically asking the factory workers to donate money
And time to work more.
Yeah, to this hospital. And then they don't even have the fucking nerve to know if there are enough toys for the kids.
Yeah.
And the guy's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how many kids there are.
Yeah.
Can't be bothered.
Yeah. So, and Harry's not down with all that. And that's the thing about a great movie villain, too, is you agree with them to a point. Right?
Yep.
I mean, Harry's right about a lot of this stuff. And he thinks they could be better because the name of the company is Jolly Dream, and their slogan is, if it's not a Jolly Dream, it's not worth having. And that's kind of Harry's like full fucking, that's like his mantra in a way, because he's all about being jolly old Saint Nick. And anything else is not worth doing. Like everything he does in the movie is one way or another tied to him being Santa. Like every single thing we see him do.
Yep.
Because even when he tells his brother he's not coming over for Thanksgiving, it's so that he can watch Santa on at the Macy's Day Parade and then do some other stuff. I assume that's the same night that he paints his van or something, because it's kind of around the same time.
Yeah.
But so he's like, well, fuck these guys. And so he leaves and he goes to his locker, and that's a scene you're talking about where he looks in the mirror and does a little wink and touch the nose thing, and then does the change in the face with his hand and looks all pissed off and crazy. And so then he like steals a bunch of the toys that the company has just produced.
Well, can I mention the one time I laughed out loud both times I watched this movie? It's before he talks to the CEO, and then the CEO douchebag and training guy. He's talking to like another worker, and he's talking about, I'm trying to find the right tune or like the right notes for the tune.
Yes.
And the guy goes,
yes.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
It's so fucking funny.
Which, that's true. And that's the first time Harry says that, but he says it a lot to lots of people. And they're always like, what are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
And I'm not even sure. And I think maybe, was there a Christmas song his mom and dad were dancing to when they were making out? Because maybe he means that song. But he means I think he means a Christmas song, right? Of some kind, like in his head. Like, better watch out, I don't know.
I'm trying to find the right tune. And he even says to the CEO guy, he's like, your tune is bad, but like, you know the tune.
Yeah.
And you're still shitty.
Yeah, and you're not playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, I'm learning how to play the tune. And then Frank is the guy who says, what the fuck are you talking about? Frank is also the guy that fucked him over pretending he needed him to cover his shift earlier. And he meets the CEO and a younger CEO with him, and he's like, they talking to him, and he's disappointed how they're talking about giving the toys to these kids because they're just like numbers and it's about publicity, and they clearly don't really care. He says to the younger guy, the older guy, he doesn't know the tune. You know the tune, but you won't play it. And so it means something about Christmas spirit, right?
It's another fucking trigger where it's like, God damn, these people don't fucking care. Like, nobody fucking cares. Because, I mean, he says it towards the end where he's, telling his brother, like nobody believes in anything anymore.
Yeah. Which is true. Again, he's right about a lot of things, but his the things he does are not right.
They're questionable.
And here we have also, by the way, another movie giving dudes with vans a bad name. So fuck you. I love my van. So yeah, he steals all these toys and puts them in bags, dresses up as Santa, gets in his van and takes them to the hospital. And it's clearly late at night. It's after the party. It's probably midnight or 2 a.m. or something, And the security guard, Movies with the ancient old security guard, it's like, why would you hire these guys? I don't know why they always do that, because I would never hire an old man to be night security for children, to protect children. And he's like 80 years old. And also not good at his job, because it takes like only 2 minutes of conversation for him to go from like, who are you? I'm not letting you in here, even if you're dressed as Santa. Like, yeah, 2 minutes later, he's like, okay, you gave me a present. Go ahead.
I know. I laughed when he came out of the door.
Man.
I went, why is this super old man, the security guard? And he has a gun. What the
Yeah. You're protecting sick children. So funny. But yeah, so he lets him in. And so then they get some more people to come out, like the head nurse and another guy that works there. And they're all stoked now because they're like, oh, sure, it's the middle of the night, but this guy brought a bunch of toys for the kids. So whatever. And they don't let him in. They just bring the toys in. So, okay, cool. And he's happy with it. He's standing there going, Merry Christmas. And like, they're like, oh, they're laughing. They love him. And it's crazy. And what I fucking love about, well, from here through the end of the movie now, pretty much, is he'll do something good as Santa Claus, and then he'll do something horrible, and it goes back and forth like that, almost like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome, because he does that, and then I believe the next thing he does, here we go! Here's why it's on a horror movie podcast. Because people listening and haven't seen this movie are probably like, they're talking about a fucking made-for-after-school special. What is this, you know? It's basically a commercial for mental health, for getting help.
Basically.
But then he pulls up to the church, and you see inside that the old and young CEOs that we met earlier at the party are in there. And, of course, like every righteous asshole. What?
They can't be bothered.
What? Oh, you're cutting out, and it's got all weird. I can't even hear you. What?
Oh, go ahead.
There you are. What?
No, go ahead.
Well, you said they can't. What? No, I didn't hear you. Just say they.
Sorry,
what?
my boob hit something.
Get your titties under control, woman.
No, go finish your thought. Sorry.
You were saying they can't be bothered. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I think it's basically what you're about to say.
Well, yeah, I was going to get a little more into it because I've been to so many church services and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You get these people who are fucking so self-righteous, and then they don't even want to go to church. And it's like, I think we talked about this recently, where I talked about a woman that I work with who is the kind of Christian I think everybody should be. She believes in what she's doing, and she actually wants to go to church. These guys are going there because their wives are making them. You could tell. One of them's falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so then they come out. And you think, like, I think he's there to kill those guys.
That's what I thought, too.
Well, he probably was. However, leave it to white assholes to just, fuck it up. So these other two smug, smiling fucking shitbags come out with their girlfriends, who one of them's also a shitbag, and they're making fun of Harry for being Santa Claus, which is ridiculous. Like, hey, Santa, saying all this horse shit to him, right?
So, I mean, since it was SantaCon here yesterday, I could understand being shitty to those Santas.
Right, but they're like drunk assholes. That's what SantaCon is.
Yeah, not this guy. This guy looks adorable.
Yeah, he's in a really good Santa outfit. We know he's been making it since at least November 5th. So he's been working on it for a while. Because now it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, he looks like Santa. He's got a big bag of toys. It's like, this is Santa Claus. You don't know. The church could have even hired him to be there, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of churches embrace it because it is a saint thing, you know?
And also, like, there's obviously a shit ton of Santas in this town. So it's, like, not an odd thing.
Right, yeah. So they're just dicks to him. And they shouldn't be. So...
What are those little spike things made out of? Because that's what he was doing in his garage, too, where he was pouring, like, the metal.
Yeah, it's molten metal he's putting in a mold. That's how you make real tin soldiers. That's why he doesn't like the plastic bullshit his company makes. He's making the old school real tin soldiers. Like, that's what those used to be. So that's what he's got. And they are sharp. So they're giving him shit to a point and getting in his face that he grabs a tin soldier. They all have little rifles with bayonets on them, so he grabs it and just shoves the bayonet into this guy's eye. And until this point, you don't know how this movie's even going to handle horror shit. But that's a good eye stab. That's like Lucio Fulci would be like, hell yeah, bro. You know?
The big close-up and then the like the squish.
Yeah.
I like the shot right after he stabs him in the eye, because then it's like this kind of like side close-up shot of Harry.
Yeah. And he's like mad, but kind of confused and horrified himself a little bit, you know?
Yeah, because it's like, this isn't the guy I wanted to stab in the eye.
Right.
Shit.
I came here to stab a guy in the eye, but, well, he just got so mad. That's why I'm saying he's always like a few seconds from just raging out, not knowing what's going on. And that's what happens here. And so he also has a toy axe that must be sharper than you think it is.
Holy shit.
Because he slams that into that guy's head. He kills the other asshole dude. And one of the women was making fun of him, too, so he kills her.
Yeah, but he leaves that one lady alone. That was like, leave him alone.
Yeah, she was sticking up for him. You're right, so that's why he didn't kill her. But then he's like, ah, and people are coming out like, oh my God.
I love that. How many people are standing there? Like 50?
Yeah.
None of them moved from their spots to like
Yeah.
try to go help any of those people getting fucking massacred.
But as I've said before, it's easy to say that when you're not in that situation. And
Yeah.
it's like my friends in high school, like, man, if I was at Columbine, it's like, fuck you, you'd be scared too. If I was on that plane with those no. You know what I mean? If a guy who's dressed as Santa starts stabbing people in the face, how do you know you're not going to be paralyzed with fear?
That's true.
God's fucking crazy. You're not expecting that. He wasn't expecting it. You know? He kind of didn't know he was going to do it. And that's what I love about it, too. We've seen his insanity building up and emerging slowly, and suddenly he kills this guy, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, you as an audience member don't really expect it to happen right then. And it does. It doesn't seem random. It also makes sense that it happens finally.
I just thought of this now. So he made toys the way he thinks toys should be made in that factory. He was going to the church to give that to the CEO and be like, these are the toys that we should be making.
Oh, you're probably right. I bet
Because he actually like tries to get past the fucking assholes, and he pulls the toy out and like kind of goes forward.
Yeah.
Because he sees the CEO and he's like, oh, there he is. And I think he was going to be like, this is what we should be making. Like, this is what Santa thinks children want. They want the good toys that we used to make, but the fucking assholes got in the way.
I think his idea was probably not to stab anybody. However, maybe it was. Maybe he was like, hey, look at these tin soldiers. This is quality. This is what we should be making. Here, give me this young CEO. Give me his eye. Look at this. Did you see how sharply it and quickly goes right through his fucking skull? Look at that. That's quality. Here, give me your wife. I'll kill her too. See?
Children can now defend themselves from their shitty parents that fucking hit them.
Yeah, right? And that's what I'm saying. So then he did something good at the hospital. He does something bad. He kills 3 people. That's bad, I think.
Very bad.
I don't know what you think. Okay, you agree. Okay, good. So he gets in a van and takes off. So then he's like kind of walking down the street like, I've fucking fucked up. He's like leaning against the wall like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? And then 2 guys see him like, hey, look at you Santa Claus. Hey, come here. And they pull him into their little private family Christmas party. It looks like they're having it at a bar or a beer hall or something. And they're nice to him. They give him drinks, and the kids there love him, right? Like, and he at first is like, no, but then he gets into it and starts doing the Santa voice and all that shit, you know?
Oh, man.
It's nice. And one of the guys who finds him out on the streets, like, hey, come in here, is Mark Margolis, who a lot of people know as the older uncle from Breaking Bad who rings the bell. Apparently, he's looked the same the whole time. Because that was 25 years before Breaking Bad, 28 or something. But anyways. But yeah, you know, when he's in there, he's like doing normal Santa shit.
Yeah, that would be total like mind fuck of like, oh fuck, I just murdered a bunch of people and now I'm Jolly Saint Nick again.
Mm-hmm. Because it's Christmas and you're in a Santa suit.
It's like mind boggling.
Well, it's whiplash.
There we go. Yeah. Ugh.
So, and then they got kids there, and of course the kids love him because he's good with kids, and he's just talking to them and stuff. Also, I wrote down here Christmas polka because I fucking love it. I loved it. They have accordions, they're playing Christmas songs with polka style. And like I said, it seems to be some sort of beer hall kind of thing. So then he's about to leave, and he's like, remember, kids, always be very good and do what your parents tell you to, and do good in school and make sure you learn things. And if you always do that, you'll be on Santa's good list. But if you don't, and this is where the speech goes like, wait, stop, buddy, stop. Oh, no, what are you saying now? Because the parents start being like,
Yeah, there's just one lady that gives this like look of like,
Yeah.
I'm uneasy.
Yeah. So, well, because she's right. Because he starts saying, like, so, yeah, do all this to be good. But if you're bad, you go in Santa's bad book. And then I won't bring you a toy. I'll bring you something horrible. Holy fucking shit.
Oh, what does that mean?
And then he starts laughing.
Uh,
I'll bring you something horrible. Now, there's a little girl in that shot. When he says, I'll bring you something horrible, and then he starts laughing, and they cut to these kids, and one little girl jumps. Did you catch that?
yeah.
She's like, fucking shit! And like, give that girl an Oscar. I think it was probably real.
Yeah, scared her.
You got Brandon Maggart in the suit, and he's going 100,000 miles an hour the whole time. He's nailing this shit. So he's probably going, really loud right in her face. She's like, oh, God. Like, I bet that was real. But it's perfect, because that's exactly what that is. You know? That's scary.
Yeah.
That he starts laughing after that. That's a scary laugh, you know?
Because isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that if you're bad, I'll bring you something horrible? You don't know what that means.
Yeah, dude. So we see a scene where he's like digging something with a shovel and putting it in a bag. Is it just dirt? Because then he brings it to Moss Garcia's house.
Yeah, because that's what he's getting for Christmas. A bag of dirt.
At this point, I wrote a question I want to ask you. Have you ever had a disturbing or scary or sexual experience involving Santa Claus in some way?
No.
I don't think I have either.
No.
But if you watch a lot of horror movies, it seems to happen a lot.
I'm sure someone listening has a story.
Yeah. You can tell us if you want to. Or maybe not. I don't know. Anyways. Especially if it's a sexy one. But his weird sense of morality, like the people he's killing are assholes. And he doesn't kill people who are not assholes.
I really don't think his intention was to kill anybody. I think it just was like a part of his mania. He just has been provoked so much to the point that like that has taken over.
I like your theory that he was going there to show them the toy. Some assholes got in the way, stabbed him in the face, had to run away. But then he goes to this party and says a little weird thing, but generally it's a good time, and the people like him. And they're still cheering for him after that, too, you know, after he says his weird thing. So then he goes to Frank's house. Frank is the guy who got him to cover his shift, kind of intimidated him into covering his shift, and then also later was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about when he's talking about singing the tune. But he tries to go down the chimney.
Oh, my God.
Is that the scariest part, getting stuck in a chimney?
I think so.
I would fucking lose my mind.
I was really, really freaking out for him. Like when he starts to like breathe in, like kind of like sucking his stomach to try I was like, Harry, you're not going to fit down there, man. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. Because I'd never seen this. So I was like, oh my God. Is he going to get stuck? And like that guy's going to come out of his house and like see Harry stuck in his fucking chimney.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because you don't know.
No.
You don't know what's going to happen.
No. And then when he like gets out of the chimney, my other thought was, I wonder if this is going to like break his Santa fantasy.
Because he doesn't get to go down the chimney.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I guess I'm not Santa because Santa would be able to get down here.
Right.
But nope. It just, I think, adds to his like frustration about everything.
But you might be right about it breaking it a little bit too. Because after this, he kind of, I don't think after this we really see him do anything nice anymore.
Not really. No.
After this, he's just kind of all crazy. So maybe it does. But so he ends up breaking into the house through a basement window. And he goes up to the Christmas tree where all the presents are. And he takes out like, it's the knife every murderer has. It's the murder knife. Ghostface has it. Michael Myers has it. Psycho has it. It's the murder knife. So he takes that out, but then he's cutting up the presents. And I didn't quite catch what he's doing, but so he's cutting up the presents and taking the shitty toys out and breaking them, right?
Yeah. He's had it. He's fucking had it with these shitty new fucking toys that suck ass.
Right. Well, I agree. And he leaves all these good toys that he made. Okay, cool. And then he hears somebody run around, and then he like figures out, he sees that the kids just got back in bed, so he figures out it was kids. Okay, great. And then, yeah, there's this duality thing where he's like, well, I made these kids night. Well, I don't know if he made their day because he also fucked up all their toys and gave them other toys. That's weird. But then he goes upstairs to do something else. And so he goes up to Frank, who's sleeping in his bed next to his wife. And this is something I don't think I've seen in a movie before. This kill. Right? Have you ever seen someone do this before? Huh?
I was like, holy shit. How did she not wake up?
Well, I mean, you know, some people sleep deeply. I don't know. But he takes his bag of toys and suffocates Frank with it, which is
But the
fucking...
wrestling of the toys, like, is making all that noise.
No, it's a movie. I was fine with it. I mean, you know, whatever. I mean, you know, I've always, you know, been able to just kind of like, whatever. But like, you're right. Like, why? But some people fucking sleep very hard. I don't know. I mean, I just had my friend's dog stay at my house. You can't wake up that fucking dog. You know what I mean?
Know.
Maybe this lady's part dog.
Sleep like a log.
Yeah, sleeping like a dog on a log.
Sleeping like a Christmas Yule log.
On a dog.
On a dog.
Anyways, I think he does get worried about the noise because then he stops trying to suffocate him with the bag and grabs a Christmas star like the tree topper and slits his throat with it. And just kind of dumps him onto his sleeping wife. And he's like gasping for air because his throat is cut, which you don't see often enough. You see plenty of throats get cut in movies, but you never see the people trying to breathe with a slit throat. And you see this guy do it, and it's so gross and creepy. Like that. And it's like, ugh.
I loved her silent shock scream. Yeah. And then just turned into like a blood-curdling scream. It was so good.
Right. And then he leaves, and he sees the kids, and the kids see him walking out of the house, and they're like, oh, it's Santa. And then we don't see the kids' reactions, but he leaves, and you hear the mom scream, so you know the kids heard that, and like, oh, fuck. You know, like,
you know
that's
what Santa brought you this year? A dead dad.
Although they probably didn't like their dad either, because that guy was an asshole. But
no shit.
In the middle of these murders happening, we see that the police are getting involved. And there's also a news guy that we see a few times who is super glamorous. Did you think that? The news guy? He looks like a drag Geraldo.
Yeah, he looked great. I was like...
He looked like glittery. He looked like he should be performing at like a gay nightclub. Didn't you think so? Didn't he have that kind of look to him?
A little, yeah, he had a glow about him.
He looked fabulous. So there's some detectives. They're not in it much. One of them is in 2 scenes, the other one's in 1 scene. But the one who shows up twice is a younger detective. Did you recognize this guy?
I recognize both of those guys.
Do you know who they were?
I don't know their names, but I was like, oh, I've seen those guys before.
Do you know where you saw them or why?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So the first guy you see, Robert Lesser, is the younger detective in Christmas Evil. He is in a much, much more well-known R-rated Christmas movie, Die Hard. He is the guy on the plane at the beginning of Die Hard that tells Bruce Willis, you gotta take your shoes off and your socks off and make fists with your toes. That's that guy.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that awesome? I figured that out last time I watched it. What I figured out this time is the older detective. The older detective is Raymond Barry, who's been in a lot of stuff, but I think probably most well known for playing Raylan Givens' dad Arlo on the TV show Justified. I'm not sure. Have you ever seen Justified?
I have not. I felt
it's great.
I recognize him from something else.
Oh, you probably have. He's in a million fucking things.
Yeah.
Like, look at this guy. Look at this thing. Sudden Death, the Van Damme movie. Born on the 4th of July. Flubber. They did a bunch of things. So I'm sure. Walk Hard. He's in Walk Hard. You know. He's in a lot of movies. So he's been around forever. And he's a great actor. He's in Cool Runnings. Holy shit.
That's probably where I recognize him from.
Oh, Jamaica, we got the bobsled team. Anyways, what a great movie. I saw that twice in the theater, bitches. So I know Raymond Barry from Justified. Justified stars Timothy Olyphant. He's like this. This is why I'm horny for Timothy Olyphant as Justified. Because you knew that about me, right? I'm sure I've talked about it before. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say I identify as straight, but if Timothy Olyphant showed up at my house and asked to use the shower, I'm not sure what would happen. You know?
Tim would be creeping up in there.
Dude, he's so fucking hot. And here's the thing, in Justified, there are hot sex scenes. Not sex scenes because it's TV, but, there's hot scenes. But he's just hot, like, hanging out in his suit and coat and cowboy hat talking to people, drinking whiskey, It's a great show. Anyways, but I just love noticing that. So the news guy, right, he's reporting on the murders. Around this time, we cut to Harry's brother, because now it's Christmas and he hasn't shown up. And his brother's very worried because he normally shows up on Christmas. And his wife is like, one thing she says, she's defending Harry to him. One thing she says is, you underestimate Harry. It's like, yeah, I think you both do, but not in the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
Ooh. And while she says that, the fabulous news guy's on TV talking about the murders, and he says, don't trust anyone wearing a Santa suit, because 4 people have been murdered by Santa tonight, is what he's saying. Don't trust anyone who's wearing a Santa suit. And I love that, because that's why I like Christmas horror movies, because it takes this thing that's good and wholesome and makes it evil. So, hey, here's most people's favorite thing about Christmas, and you can't go near him because he might kill you.
And there's a lot in this town, because that was the other part of this movie that made me laugh, was the Santa lineup.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed out loud both times, just because, how fucking pathetic they look.
Yeah, really bad Santa outfits versus Harry's amazing one. But that goes right back to him being obsessed and they're just doing it as jobs, But yeah, it's funny because they're all just complaining and shit.
Well, when the guys say, yeah, they took me away from a kid's party or something. But earlier when you were talking about how Harry was practicing on how to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
They have this one guy kind of turn to your left, turn to your right, and then say the line. And he's like, Merry Christmas. And he's like, no, say it like how you're supposed to say it. And he's like, right. Merry Christmas. And he's like, no, say it.
Yeah. So no one knows how to do it.
No one in this movie knows.
You would know. I would know.
Merry
Christmas! And when he gets into it and says it, he kind of screams it a little bit. He does it where you can understand why the kids like it and the adults don't. Because it's a kid would just be like, oh, it's Santa saying Merry Christmas. But to the adults, it does sound slightly unhinged. Even the good times when people are all, he's at the party before he says the weird thing, and everybody's like, oh, I love it. It's still weird the way he's saying it. It's just a little too hard. You know what I mean? Just a little over the top. And it's because he can sing the tune. It's because he's singing the tune.
He's found the right tune.
So another thing I want to bring up is the news guy says, don't talk to Santa, don't approach Santa, and call the emergency number. 911, right? No, 9991212. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Like a special hot tip line?
What is that? Yeah. Honestly, though, okay, yeah, sure. Set up a special hotline for reporting the murder of Santa, but also call the police. What? What are you doing? Oh,
dude, I was thinking this when I watched this right before. I said, man, if you want to go on a spree killing, dress up as a normal fucking Santa and do that shit during SantaCon.
Sure.
Because there's hundreds and hundreds of regular looking Santas everywhere. You would get away with it.
Yeah. At SantaCon, yeah, but even just in general. Look at this. Look at Harry. People don't question him, really. It takes them they never even figure out it's him, except his brother does.
I mean, even though he looks a little bit different than your typical Santa.
Yeah, but it's still Santa,
He's a vintage style Santa.
He's a good one. I mean, okay, let's go back to that documentary I was talking about, I Am Santa Claus. So there's 4 different Santas, right? There's the guy in Texas. He does a good job. He just does Santa at normal malls. There's a guy in LA who does kind of mall Santas. And one of the other people they focus on is this dude in New Jersey who got famous because he legally changed his name to Santa Claus. It's on his driver's license. And he's the fancy one, and he gets hired by celebrities. He's been on talk shows as Santa and that stuff, So he's got the Harry style Santa, the really elaborate, the fur and all that stuff. So, and the other guys just have the normal red fleece fabric with some shitty white cotton balls on it, basically, But you're right. It's a good camouflage for that time of year because there's so much you can get away with just by being Santa Claus, you know? And I think that's another reason why these movies work and are so creepy, because someone could go do this.
And you never know.
Yeah.
You never know which one it is.
So his brother is starting to get worried about it, and his wife is like, what's interesting is they're both concerned about him, but his brother's kind of a dick about it. That's the only difference.
Yeah, well, because then he say something like, I know my brother. Like, I've known my brother. Like, I'm really fucking freaking out because, like, I think it's probably him. I want to mention that, like, when he's in the van, he kind of, like, cracks the whip like he's in the sleigh. I love that. I'm Santa. This is my sleigh. I love that. He's in that, like, new neighborhood because his, like, back tire of his van gets stuck in the snow. But it's great. My favorite shot is when he's going up that driveway and it's all those lit up Santas and snowmen, and he's walking with his sack. It was like his driveway to, like, the North Pole. It was like, that's what it would look like. It's just like lit up Santas with their sleighs. It looked really fucking cool, but it looked really fucking ominous too. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I think he probably walked up that street because he thinks it's a path to the North Pole or some shit. The thing is the whole time he's gone, but he's not, and that's what makes him a bad guy. Like, he's not completely crazy. He knows he shouldn't be doing this shit, but he does it because he thinks he's Santa, so he's still kind of lucid and aware of what he's doing to a degree, but he's also out of his fucking mind. You know what I mean? So, I mean, when I have an anxiety attack that's really, really bad, and I feel it in my chest, and I'm, like, saying crazy things, or I can't breathe, or I'm just, like, standing in my kitchen walking in circles and not even knowing what I'm doing, like, there is a part of me that does know. Or when I'm, like, gorging on food, which has become a way my mental illness really presents itself, and I'm just mechanically eating a bunch of shit, including, like, eating a chocolate bar my daughter brought me from Hawaii that she wanted us to share together, and I just downed it without even hardly tasting it. You know, so when I'm doing stuff like that, I know it's bad and I know what I'm doing, but I'm still doing it. And I think that's the kind of place where he's at, where like he's still doing this Santa shit, but there's part of Harry in his brain be like, "You're fucking crazy, bro. You killed a guy. You killed like 3 guys and a lady." You know, like, I don't know. One thing about all the lit up Santa men, the lit up Santa and snowmen, who puts up that many? It looks insane. Right?
I went, this is the rich neighborhood. They have money for this shit.
Yeah. You know, there is a rich mansion kind of not far from me. And when you drive by on Christmas, you're right. It's like, whoa, we get it. You know? We get it. Your wife's probably unhappy. Rich people are not fucking their wives very well. I've always thought that. So you think Melania Trump's had an orgasm since the mid-90s? No way. You know what I mean? Or at least not from him. Maybe from when Kid Rock visits. I don't know. Nah, he doesn't know how to fuck either. There's no way he knows how to fuck.
Yeah.
When was the last time what's a politician that knows how to fuck? Do you think Obama knew how to fuck? He's probably all right at it, right?
I don't know. When do they have the time, honestly?
Well, but I don't know, when he was younger. I bet George Bush knew how to eat pussy a little bit. George W. Bush.
Ew.
Right? He's like at Kegger, like, hey, can I go down on you? You know, sure, why not?
No, get away.
Hey, well, somebody fucked him. Well, Laura fucked him. Anyways, I don't even know what we're talking about. Yeah, rich people with their lights. Too many lights. But so he goes to this alley, and by the way, if you've never been in New York, okay, a lot of this takes place in New Jersey, but I don't know if Jersey has those alleys either. New York doesn't. They're in all the fucking New York movies, but they don't have those alleys hardly anywhere, right? Like, this is not a thing. But he is in this area that we do have in New York, that I don't live there anymore, but he's in this area that they do have in New York, the courtyard thing, right? Then he's behind that building. It looks like those courtyards you have in the middle of the apartment building, you know? And yeah, he looks like shit. And he's covered in dirt and blood. And these kids see him, but they don't. All they see is Santa Claus, right?
Well, that one little girl goes, Santa, you are dirty.
Oh, yeah, she does say something. That's right.
And it's like, what does he say? There's a lot of soot between the North Pole and the air. Pollution.
Because he's, Part of this is like it's a social commentary. Harry has this commentary and that everything's fucked up, but I'm good, And so he's like, yeah, there's a lot of pollution between the North Pole and here, which is so weird. It's like, what, you drove through like a smog cloud? Okay, you could just say you go down chimneys, dumbass. But I guess since he didn't, then I don't know. And then so he's talking to the kids, and then their parents show up, and the news has been saying, don't hang out with Santa Claus tonight. And they come out. I mean, can you imagine being those parents, though? Like, you've been hearing all night, stay away from Santa. And then you see your kids with a Santa who at first looks like a good Santa, but then, oh, wait, he's dirty and he's bloody and he's, like, hanging out in an alley. I mean, look, I wouldn't be the dad with the switchblade, but I would definitely be like these other parents, like, fuck. Like, oh, God, this is definitely the Santa.
Yeah, we were told, it's a Santa. Now everybody knows about the fur because during the lineup, the guy was like, no, it's not any of these because the fur was dark. Mm-hmm. So they're like, holy shit, he's going to fucking hurt our kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be freaking the fuck out. Like, yeah. But I love how the kids are protecting him. I love that.
There's one dad who is, I don't know, I guess I could see a parent doing this, but he is stupid. He pulls it. First of all, are their dads walking around with switchblades? I know that dads have pocket knives, but this is a switchblade.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
That's not a dad knife. Is it? No.
Yeah. Yeah, like a Swiss Army knife or something like that.
Yes, I've often had one. My dad had one. My grandpa, everybody, a lot of dads have those. But who's one? Because first of all, okay, a Swiss Army knife is a tool. Yes, there is a blade on it, but it's a tool. It's got a corkscrew. It's got screwdrivers. It's got other stuff. An owl, AWL, for punching holes in leather. It's got all sorts of weird stuff on it. It's useful. It's a can opener. You got a can opener, right? So it's a knife in case you have to cut something. A switchblade is for stabbing somebody in the movie Grease. That's what those knives are for, right? Or West Side Story. And it is a funny idea, too, and you see it in horror movies all the time, where it's like a normal person is like, here's the murderer, who I know has been murdering people all night, but I can get him. Sure you can, fucking probably drunk dad. So he tries to, and then does Harry throw something at him that makes him drop the knife? I think he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he throws something, the guy drops a knife, so the little girl picks up the switchblade, and that's one of my favorite shots, is this smiling little girl handing a switchblade to Santa Claus.
That was awesome.
So good. So good. And yeah, that's the point where they're like, no, they're standing in the way of the dad, and like, oh man, it's so fucked up. But he starts fighting the dad, and you think he's going to stab him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't, and he drops the knife and runs away. And at this point, let's get back to some of the comment cards, because there's one that talks about this that we need to get to. So the last card we had was yours. I think I said, what was this supposed to prove, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The next one, age 25, female. She rated the movie poor. Should not be shown around Christmas. Will give weirdos bad ideas. Okay. Oh, and the next one was, I think you said was your favorite one.
Yeah, age 25, sex female. Wrote in her own rating. Stupid.
Yeah, wrote in her own comment, stupid. I only repeated that because it cut out, and so in case we don't have it.
Other comments. Mm-hmm. I like Harry. Where can I meet him?
The next one, we'll go through a bunch of these because there's one that talks about this. Okay, age 24, female, rated at poor. You can't be serious. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. And then it says parentheses over. And they don't have the rest of it, but that means she like wrote more on the other side about how much she doesn't like
no.
it. Yeah. And the next one, you loved this one too, and I love this one.
Age, I think the age is like also says a lot too. Age 60. Yeah. Sex male, poor, in all caps. Really big as the comment. Why?
Love it. There's another one. Age 56, male, rated at fair, which I don't quite get, because then he says, very poor taste, undermines the spirit of Christmas. Another reason to get Santa out of Christmas. So he's like a religious nut, probably. So, but then the next one, age 29, sex female, excellent. And then what does she say?
The simplicity of the strong images are excellent. Some parts early, in parentheses, are slow because of the focus on one difficult character. We could have hung with that chick. She could have been on the pod.
Yeah, she seems cool. And some of the positive ones are like pretentious assholes, but yeah, that girl seems like she's cool. Yeah, she'd be a guest. Okay, 36, male, poor. It's so amateurish. The movie is hardly worthy of any comments. I am truly sorry I came to see it. Oh, man. Oh.
Age 31, sex female, poor. Comment is tedious, boring, and a real waste of time. Lack of dialogue. Really?
Yeah, so there's someone who loves movies. It's like, oh, so you don't like when a movie is cinematic and shows you instead of telling you with dialogue? You know what I mean?
Lame. That was a lame comment.
Here's a good one. 62, male, rated it fair. And again, I don't understand based on the comment why they rated it fair. It says in all caps, bad title and bad ending. And the title he's talking about is Better Watch Out. Christmas Evil is a better title, I think, but it's still funny. Oh, God, I love this next comment. I'm kind of jealous I sent it to you.
You can say it if you want.
No, say it, please. Well, I'm just hoping you cut out so I have to say it, but no, it's yours, so you say it.
Age 56, sex female. A lot of poor. Nobody ever rated this good. Was too dragged out, needs editing, or possibly destroyed.
I love that one. I told you there was one that's 2 words that I loved. Here it is. Age 22, sex male, rated poor, says in all caps, don't release, with an exclamation point.
34, male, another poor. The attempt to look at psychosis was horrendous. Who needs this stuff? We do. Who needs stuff? We do, goddammit.
We do. It's great. We're just going to go through the rest of these because, like I said, some might be not that fun, but some of them are great. I think this one's great. Age 57, sex male, fair, movie drags, poor for children. Listen, I wasn't around yet. I was a year from existing when this movie came out. However, I am pretty damn sure they did not market it as a children's film. Poor for children. Yeah, dude, it's probably rated R.
Yeah, no shit, man.
So here's the next one that you have is kind of like what we were talking about earlier about maybe I was even expecting it.
Mm-hmm. Age 31, sex male, fair rating, okay. If you're trying to make a film like Halloween, Friday the 13th, or The Fog, there's not enough action early in the film to satisfy this type of audience. And then they just spell motives, they crossed it out.
They probably were spelling it wrong.
Motives really aren't made plain enough.
What? He wants to be Santa Claus, but he's crazy. That's the motive.
Are we watching the same fucking movie?
I know, right? And here's the next one I mentioned earlier. No age listed, no sex listed. They just checked off excellent and said it will make a lot of money. Okay. Whatever. Here's someone who liked it. This lady probably be cool.
And I like, she's got really nice handwriting
She
too.
does.
55, female, excellent, very good study of a psychotic personality. Oh, yeah.
Oh, here's one that checked it good. 28, male, good. Mob scene with torches seemed a little fake.
What?
Look, man, if you're not on board with this movie by that point, whatever.
I mean, dude.
It's a bunch of... Okay, listen. I think having torches... it is crazy that they all suddenly have torches, but it's like, I don't know, works with what's happening. He is a monster now.
The way that it was shot, though, was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it went along with the music. That was also... The music in this movie is fucking incredible and fucking creepy and gave me anxiety at certain points. So it was like fucking spot on. But like... When the torches start going up one by one, it was edited so perfectly with the musical tone.
Yeah.
Which is what is fucking Harry been saying constantly through this movie. I have found the tune.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Hello?
Yeah.
And then like not showing the mob all at once, but just showing each fucking torch was so fucking cool. Fuck that person's comment. They can suck my dick.
Well, they're probably dead now, so don't worry about it. But
I'm gonna get a weird email.
They're 28, so they're probably, they're probably already divorced. Their kids don't talk to them anymore. The thing is, it is weird and absurd to see a bunch of people with torches, so I get why it was like, seems out of place, but it doesn't. And the fact that, like what you said, they kind of show them one by one doing it makes it like, okay, well, here they're all doing it. And it is mob mentality. And that's the thing. The Simpsons has this happen all the time where one person, it's always Lenny, starts a riot and then everybody riots. And so everybody's like, yeah, get torches, chase this motherfucker out because he's a monster. And it is at night. And it's easier to grab a stick and set it on fire than go get a flashlight. I can see that, so why not? And yeah, he just gets, it's crazy. And we'll get to the rest of the ending. Let's read to the rest of these cards. There's not very many left. The next one is yours, and it's great.
25, female. And instead of just check marking next to the word poor, they had to write very on top of it. Very poor. And just in case you couldn't read it, the other comment in huge caps, trash, with 3 exclamation points. Jesus. It's like they couldn't wait to write that.
Right. You know
trash.
What? I think the next one might be written by the same lady.
No.
25, female. They checked poor and wrote very over it. Or maybe it's her friend. But it looks like the same handwriting. Different E's. Okay, probably different person, but I bet it's like 2 college chicks or something, right? Okay, so she also checked very poor. This one also says over, but you don't see what's written on the other side. But what you do see is You Better Watch Out was the weirdest, dumbest, stupidest, silliest movie I've ever seen. What I love is that she spells dumb wrong. And if you're going to misspell a word wrong, misspell one when you're insulting someone else's intelligence. I love that. Love that. When I used to get into more political arguments on Facebook, I was always praying and hoping that some fucking idiot would someday tell me, you're stupid, and write the wrong form of your. Because people do that all the time on Facebook, right? So it should be Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. You are. Your. Instead, it was your as in like my stupid, you're stupid, Y-O-U-R. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. Anyways, it's the only time I've ever believed in God. Okay, so, okay, yeah, the next one is yours. We're almost done. We got 3 left.
Okay, this one's good too. Age 20. Sex. Yes.
It's Austin Powers.
Checkmarked poor. Oh, and then they wrote walked out. Damn. So then how did they get this card? Did they hand these out at the end?
No, at the beginning.
At the beginning. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the next one is something else. Age 30. Sex male. Rated excellent. Comment. I think I'll be like Harry this Christmas.
I hope they fucking took that to the local police station.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And you have the last one. And I love this one. This guy's probably fun to hang out with, too.
26, male. Good. Comment was wonderfully absurd.
Which sounds a little pretentious, but he's also right, because there's something I wanted to bring up that kind of goes with that. Is, the guy called it fake. Well, I can see why you think an angry mob with torches in the modern day would look fake. Okay, sure, but they make it make sense in the movie. But there is an absurdity to this, and a question I had is, do you think maybe there's parts of this, or maybe the whole thing, but at least parts of this that aren't really happening? I don't know, but I think it's a good question.
I think so too. Wow.
Like, to me, if there are parts he's hallucinating, because, he's like, this is an ego trip thing too. He's the only one who can be Santa Claus. He's the only one that, like, he gives that speech to all those parents before the guy pulls the knife about how, like, nobody's good anymore, nobody did it, all this shit. Like, he thinks he's got this moral superiority to him, right? So it fits that delusion to be like, and then they don't like me, so they'll chase me out of town with torches. Like, how Donald Trump and all those shitheads are always making themselves out to be victims of, like, remember how we always said witch hunt all the time?
Yeah.
And they didn't even understand it, because then one of those far-right political cartoonists did a cartoon of witch hunt where he had a bunch of, like, witches that look like Obama and Hillary and Biden. It's like, that's not what a witch hunt is. It's not witches hunting somebody. It's crazy. It's a real cartoon. I'll find it sometime and show it to you. But anyways, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I'm so great and so awesome and no one understands me, that kind of thing. So some of this I get to see that being maybe a delusion, you know?
I mean, when he thinks that, like, when he's going off of the edge in his van, and instead he thinks he's flying up into the night sky past the full moon as Santa, I could see that where, like, maybe most of this has been all in his fucking head.
Yeah, I think he killed people. Like you said, the first time he kills people in this, he's maybe not even trying to or really doesn't expect it, and it surprises himself. So, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, he's getting chased, and before he gets in the van that Shandy mentioned, he goes to his brother's house. And when he shows up, his brother Phil is like, "Oh shit, it's you," because like now
Yeah.
it's he's been kind of like we said, he's kind of maybe he was suspicious. Maybe he was at least, I think he was at least a tiny bit suspicious, but not all the way. Now he's like, okay, well, well, well. And he brings him in and starts like punching him and shit and beating him up. And the kids are like, no, it's Uncle Harry, because they don't get it.
Man, this scene is like, it fucked me up the second time I saw it too, where I was
Yeah.
like, like when shit happens to you as a kid, it can just stay with you your entire fucking life. And like, it's
Yeah.
obviously affected the two of them to this point.
Right. These two brothers. Yeah.
You know, Phil had said to his wife, like, you know, I always wanted an older brother, like somebody to look up to. And like, that's not who Harry is. Like,
Yeah.
he's always had to be the big brother. So like,
Yeah.
that's fucked his mental health up that way. And like, always getting like, why is it my fault that you are the way that you are?
Yeah.
Because I said some shit that messed you up when I was 6 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing's crazy. And he's right about like I said it when I was 6, like that whole thing. And now it's like there's 2 more brothers, Phil's children, that are probably going to be fucked up because they're seeing their dad try and kill their uncle. And he's choking him out. Okay. And I don't know if you caught this, but I'll just say it. So he's choking Harry in the same spot where Harry saw his mom and dad fucking or making out, whatever. And Phil's wife is sitting in the same spot Harry was sitting in.
Yeah, I noticed that the second time.
Yeah, so now it's fucking up his wife and probably other children and whatever. And he chokes him out like he passes out. And then he just kind of carries him out to the van and puts him in it. Harry wakes up and punches Phil in the face and then drives off. God. And then Phil runs after him. And then we see the mob finally catching up. And they're kind of chasing him. He kind of drives through the mob. I was hoping he would hit one of them with his van. I don't think he does, though. It doesn't really look
That's what I was hoping too. I thought he was going to just like ram through them.
Yeah.
Which he tries to, kind of.
Right. Well, he's bad at this point, but also they suck, so fucking kill some of them. But anyways, so that's not what happens. And so he keeps driving away, and then he's like it's an overpass or something, right? And he drives off of it, like on purpose, because like there's one thing we see him say to Phil shortly before he shows up at the house, which is like something about how he is accepting that he's gonna die.
Yeah, he's like accepted, like, oh shit, I've done all this.
Yep.
This is what's going to happen.
And so he drives off, and yeah, that is one of my favorite ending shots of anything. And he did, like, it's playing Christmassy music, and he drives off, and that's like his sleigh is flying through the air, basically. And he's probably crashing and dying, but maybe not. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe he actually was Santa Claus all along,
or it's all in his head. That too. So. What I got afraid of was Phil, like, is chasing after him and trips and falls down. I'm like, wait, does Phil die too? No, Phil doesn't die. Okay. But
my God.
He probably didn't have a fun rest of the holiday season with his wife and children.
No, not at all.
A lot of weird silent dinners for the rest of December.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. I saw Daddy killing Uncle Harry.
I saw Daddy choking Santa Claus because he suspect him of some murders.
Well, and then they're going to grow up and find out that Uncle Harry did kill a bunch of people.
Yeah,
like,
that's
hello.
fucking. Well, I'm sure they found it right then. The dad probably said the next day, they're like, "Dad, what's the problem?" He's like, "Listen, Harry killed a bunch of people, and then he thought his van could fly." So
And they're going to get bullied in school. They're like, you had a crazy uncle who thought it was Santa. You guys are going to be shitty killer Santas when you grow up.
I was just gonna say that because it was Silent Night, Deadly Night. What's gonna happen? Christmas Evil 2, twin fucking murder Santas.
Yeah, that therapy now. Get those kids into therapy, stat. Holy shit.
Maybe that's kind of the message here, because you know what it is too. It's a cycle. It's a cycle that continues, Something horrible happened on Christmas that made Harry go crazy. Now these kids saw the same thing. It'd be a great sequel, though. Turn the whole concept on its ear is have the wife be a crazy murderer in the next movie. Because she's sitting in the spot Harry was sitting in. I mean, how great would it be? I mean, I love this movie. Don't change a thing. But it'd be awesome if there was an after credit scene where you see the wife go up to the attic.
She becomes like a family annihilator.
Well, no, she drops the snow globe and cuts herself, and then it ends. That would be cool. So the last time I watched this, the reason I couldn't quite remember is because I watched it with commentary. And the commentary was with the director, Lewis Jackson, and John Waters. John Waters kind of rescued this movie from obscurity, found Lewis Jackson, did some screenings and stuff, interviewed Lewis and stuff, and got it put out again. Because John Waters says this is my favorite Christmas movie.
It's pretty fucking wonderful. It's
awesome. And the commentary is mostly, and I don't think anyone who knows John Waters, his work, will be surprised by this. But it's mostly John laughing at it and talking about how it's all like a metaphor for like that Harry's either like trans or like being kink shamed or like he's secretly gay or something. Like he has a Santa kink and no one will accept it, so now he's killing everybody. It's kind of how he puts it. So, which is a way to read it. I think it's more of a sad, just general mental illness kind of thing. But as how fun would it be to attend a screening with John Waters though of this movie?
Wow. That would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the commentary is really great, because Lewis Jackson seems cool too, the guy that wrote and directed this, So.
Yeah.
And it's too bad. What's his name? Well, I guess he probably lives off his daughter's music money, but it's too bad that Brandon Maggart didn't do more stuff because I think he's fantastic. Like he's a good actor in this movie. He does a great job. It's a weird fucking role to have to do. And he does a good job.
Yeah, but he does really good going from Harry, who has a desk job at the factory, to fucking manic fucking Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's intensity.
Yeah, Intense City's live at Budokan. Fuck, for sure. Oh, well, I guess we're done. I'm like crashing. I've not been sleeping well lately. What you want to throw out the social shit?
Follow us on the social medias, on Instagram at Earnfulla Popcorn. That's URNFULLA Popcorn. You can also listen to our podcast on our website, earnfullapopcorn.com, on YouTube as Earnfulla Popcorn Podcast, Spotify, Apples. Follow us on Patreon, become a member. It's only $2.99. You get all kinds of extra shit. You can only listen to Fistful of Popcorn now. It's an exclusive as a Patreon member. We just uploaded Hard Boiled. It's fucking fantabulous. We also have merch if you want it. We have t-shirts, buttons, and pins. If you want them for a little bit cheaper, become a member on Patreon. You don't care about that and you just want a shirt, you can get it on the website. Whatever you want.
You want a shirt? Get a shirt. Thank you to Jordan Cooper for writing our theme song. Steve Ward made a logo we don't use anymore. We were talking about possibly having Jordan on an episode sometime, which is great. And Shandy's like, well, we should have Steve on because he did that thing. It's like, well, but we don't use it anymore. So we should have the person on who makes our logo now. But that was you, so you're already on here. Although, what if we did an episode where we talked to Shandy and Shandy? I'm tired.